started producing taps, and he produced taps around 3 trucks, and there is a wholesale market near to the Delhi where he is to went to sell that taps, and he sold the tap within a month. He sold the tap, and after 1 month, the taps came back to the same market, and the problem was identified. Everything was okay, but once you install the tap, open that, okay, open the tap, no water used to flow because the die maker forget to insert a hole so that water can come out. Everything was there, and that uncle ji told me that मेरा दोस्त परेशान हो गया, अब मैं क्या करूं? तो उसको जो अदर लोग थे उन्होंने कहा वापस जाओ डाई वाले के पास, उसको भाई डाई तो बन गई, टैप तो बन गया, लेकिन उसमें तो ये तो बनाओ इनलेट बोल, पानी बाहर तो आ सके कम से कम, वो होल ही नहीं बना, टैप बन गई। तो अब यू कैन इमेजिन आदमी प्रोडक्शन शुरू कर दिया बंदे ने, सब कुछ 3 ट्रक माल बना लिया, बेचने गया वापस आ गया, because there was no simulation, no software was there to support these kind of things. So what Indians believe पैसा लगाओ खूब सारा और जाके फैक्ट्री डाल लो, आराम से बैठ के सो, सब कुछ होता है. It is not there. People invest, they make the softwares. Whatever software is missing, that component they do it by themselves. Clear? And then they make that. Okay? What's best institute for engineering? Anybody know? No, it's not what's best. MIT. So I had this design idea, but not exactly the design idea, but I was thinking on some prototype. So I was exploring the net. I came about across the electrical department at MIT. So I was actually exploring the problems of wind energy. So the problems of wind energy is that you can install the wind turbine. In India, Suzlon does that. They make turbines, but there should be a continuous flow of winds. If the continuous flow of wind is not there, you install a turbine, you will be bankrupt because you will not be able to repay the loan to the bank, or you cannot reclaim your capital back. But at certain height, you go to high-rise apartments, on the 12th floor you always feel the wind. Decent enough wind is there. That is why people in Mumbai, the 5th floor apartment cost is less. Okay? 10th floor apartment cost is high. 20th floor apartment cost is very, very high. And you heard the word penthouse? The penthouse is on the topmost. The reason for that, at lower level, at lower height, the pollution is more. At upper layer, if you increase the height, the pollution effect is less. Wind is continuously there. Okay? So what that fellow designed at MIT, he installed it was actually a turbine, wind turbine. It was filled with surrounded by a material, also balloon type of a material. He filled hydrogen in it, helium in it. Helium was light, and that turbine was connected with a cable, and he started increasing the as he started filling the helium, the volume increased. जैसे बैलून जाता ना, आपने देखा बैलून, वैसे ही उसका वो टरबाइन ऊपर उठने लगा, and that turbine was tied to a cable at a desired height. A turbine tied है cable में, and wind was there, it was working 24/7. And I thought that this is a very brilliant idea. Nobody in the world could have this. He had this. So I had chance to actually interact with them. So he said, I made a software first to simulate everything, that whether my idea will work or not. When he was successful in simulation, then he went for funding. Now he's installing those kind of system at a very remote locations where there is no connection to the power grid. Okay? Suppose that there are 10 houses in desert or some hilly areas. It is very difficult to actually connect to that town or small 4 to 5 houses to the power grid. So at that base his solution is works. Okay. So for that they do it on the software first. Let it be any branch, mechanical, electrical, anyway. They do it on the software first, then they actually physically realize that product, or they go to production. In India, the things are, we are conceptually told machine बनाओ पहले, फिर देखो उसको चलता है कि नहीं. तब तक आप bankrupt हो गए, घर वालों ने लात मार दी आपको, आपका सपना वही टूट गया. So that is why we are only half-baked engineers. We have knowledge of everything. We have imagination, but we don't have the proper softwares for that. Clear? And with only one reason in mind, one question, कि सॉफ्टवेयर तो केवल कंप्यूटर साइंस वाला ही बनाएगा. ओवर देयर एवरीबडी मेक्स देयर ओन सॉफ्टवेयर. वो किसी इंडस्ट्री में वो अपना सॉफ्टवेयर खुद बना रहा है, एंड दे डू इट ऑन दैट सॉफ्टवेयर. दे रियलाइज कंसेप्ट इज वर्किंग, देन दे स्टार्ट इट. क्लियर? सो डिजिटल ट्विन टेक्नोलॉजी हेल्प्स यू if you make your software first. You know SpaceX, that vertical launch system, can you imagine this rocket, that system was made first or the software was made first? Software. Through software they controlled every parameter, they remade the system was malfunctioning. Imagine what would have happened if it was being done by the some Indian company. Entire setup was to fail. But their engineers sat on the software, they found out where the problem is, they found the problem on the software, they corrected, replaced the part in that physical system, it successfully flew up and came back. Clear? You know this F-35, does somebody knows F-35, what is it?
It's a fighter aircraft of America.
Yeah, it is a fighter made by Lockheed Martin. Two companies were in competition for supplying fighter planes for 20 years, Boeing and Rafale. And Boeing's prototype had a problem because the engine used to actually send the unconsumed fuel, and it used to come out like a flame. Okay, and on the test bed it showed this problem. Their Boeing engineers sat on the software, found the problem where the problem is, and they corrected it, and it was working fine. And in India, we have a prototype. Now we'll redesign that prototype, come back after 20 years correcting this problem, then we'll find another problem, and that is how we mature the technology. So their software is must, because on software they simulate everything and then they produce. Okay, so real-time quality control is there because AI supports you. Production capacity increases significantly. Defects reduced to near zero. Faster production with high flexibility and continuous self-optimization using data. So this is case study 2, Siemens. This is the plant making PLCs for entire world, and you can count how many humans are there. Okay, very less. Okay. So if 100 persons are required, they use only 25% of the human beings. So this is Siemens factory. Case study 3, Tata Motors. We are not behind. Okay. So Tata Motors manufacturing plant in Pune and Sanand are the excellent example of Industry 4.0. Okay. These facilities integrate automation, robotics, IoT and data analytics to create efficient and flexible production system. You see that Tata is being launching models which are very good looking. They catch the market and they are in competition again. Imagine the era of Indica, Tata Indica. Tata was out of, and Lucknow public knows what happened with Tata Sumo. Nobody buy Tata Sumo because as soon as you purchase Tata Sumo for your own self, you are on the road, people used to go, भाई मुझे पे उठा ले, क्योंकि उनको लगता है किराए की गाड़ी लेके जा रहे. So nobody actually purchased the Tata Sumo. What went wrong with Tata Safari? You buy the, आपकी जो इमेज है ना वो बदतमीज टाइप के लोगों में आ जाएगी. सफारी से चलता है. Right? Now you have Tata Curvette, Tigor. Now these are very good cars with no vibrations because they have got an excellent production line. Everything is controlled with the software. and they can launch means models means within 6 months they launch a new model. And in competition, Maruti, they have nothing to bother about production and something. As soon as something is going out of date in Japan, they'll buy it. Don't throw that assembly line to sea. Please give it to us. That is a case study of Tata Swift, Maruti Swift. Swift was actually discarded technology, discarded car in Japan. So this Maruti Suzuki collaboration was there. So Maruti, if you went to Japan, please don't throw it. Give it to us at half the cost. We said okay, welcome. And they came back to India, and in Indians, Maruti's new Tata, this Swift is there. Very popular car. Everybody started buying Tata Maruti Swift. Very good car, but it was a discarded technology. You take the cost of this Hyundai, Korean company, good cars. Accent and other kind of variant are there. But there are less models in Hyundai. You see Accent, you see old Accent, you come back after 10 years, you again see the Accent itself. There is no new model. And the problem with Hyundais are, they are actually, they don't run on your petrol, they run on your blood. They consume so much fuel that it's very costly to operate. And we Indians love good cars at a very, that is why Maruti is very popular. Now Tata is in between, inserting itself. And this is all because Tata have adopted, they changed their technology. They started working on software. And this is only possible because they acquired Jaguar in UK. So their software, proprietary software, they are shipped back to Tata's. Now Tata has every technologies and it's okay. And the vision of Tata's is something different. You know who controls internet in India? Who controls internet in India?
Tata Enterprises.
It's Mota Bhai, Ambani. Okay? Now Ambani's father laid an underground sea cable at its own cost, and that cable comes to Mumbai, and something goes wrong in Mumbai, every India's internet connectivity is shut down. Even Bharti Airtel is dependent upon that cable. That is what Dhirubhai Ambani, who was not even educated. That is his vision. Now that is why they have to do marriage of their son. They increase the price of Jio subscription. What you can do? Nothing. They've increased, Airtel also increased. So they are also not out of competition, and Airtel has to actually increase the cost because they have to stay in competition. Because Ambani's will charge backdoors. Now the data rate has been changed for you. Clear? So if Ambani's want, they can shut down Bharti Airtel within minutes, because they have control over internet cable. And you know what Tata did? Tata's laid the same cable for 128 countries in the world. If Modi makes a telephone call, our government makes telephone call to Tata, so please shut down the internet cable, Europe will be without data. Tata has done it for 128 countries, but they do not publicize it. They operate silently. And that is why Tatas do silent acquisition in industry. Clear? Jaguar purchase was being, every expert told that no, this is very costly, and what will you land up? You will land up in bankruptcy. Tata's did it. There is a Professor Jay Prakash, Professor Prakash Singh at IIM Lucknow. Okay, so we had this 1 week program. I was also a part of it. So he was a part of that acquisition. So 300 CAs were flown back to UK. They were continuously a part of the deal. And Ratan Tata, he didn't sleep for continuous 3 days for that deal, to close that deal. He was one of the part of that team. If you have a chance to meet him, he will share the inside story of what happened, how after 2 hours it was being assumed that deal will happen, and after 3rd hour, 4th hour pass, no, we will not be having any deal. So again, but it was the actually genius of Ratan Tata, that everything was acquired. So we have 2 or 3 persons from IIM Lucknow who were the part of that team. So they use industrial robotics, okay, industrial IoT, data analytics, and digital monitoring systems. So what happened? Increased production, reduce the downtime and defects, product quality, flexibility in manufacturing, and better decision making using real-time data. So this is the picture of Pune's and Sanand plant. You see the car has been manufactured by fully robots, no defects at all.